quality of myself that I like to cook, and that's a plus to bring into the relationship. Now, if you don't know how to cook, right? If you don't know how to cook and you want to please your spouse because everybody likes to eat, then learn, right? It'll be easier for you. Gina's making faces. She likes carry on. You know what I mean? I never knew that I like cooking. I like cooking. I never knew. I just watched and I liked it. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. So, so I started working on that quality. So what we're doing is working on that quality or whatever gift, or activate the gift that the Lord has given you, so when the people do come, you're already there at that moment. You're there to help. Someone preached one day and said that when you come in the room, automatically you bring God. The Holy Spirit is inside of you. Greater is He who's in me than he who's in the world. So if God is coming in with you in the room, and God has all the answers, right? And God uses you because you are available to be used, because you're a vessel and you're willing, and you say, yes, Lord, use me, right? That is a great plus. Because if there is a problem, let's say in the church or the temple or in the house or whatever you go to, they can say, hey, you know what? God uses Messiah. Let's ask him a question. He may know, or the Lord may reveal it to him. There's my sister Marisol. She came a long way. God uses her. Came a long direction, a long way. God uses her tremendously. And sometimes I ask her a question and say, hey, pray for me. Maybe the Lord may speak to you. Right? In this situation or this circumstance. So we got to be ready. We got to be prepared. But it took for her much prayer. For much is given, much is required. Took her much interceding, because she has a prayer line. We have a reading line. She has a prayer line. Now we're going to start praying. We're going to start praying more because we need more direction. God did give directions. Yesterday I was talking to somebody and they were asking me, how's the church going? I said, it's going well. I'm happy. And they said, oh, so why you say you're happy? I said, I'm happy because the Lord spoke to us. Now we have a goal. Now we have a direction. I'll be a little bit more concerned, or less, let's just say, not worried, but I guess you could say concerned. If the Lord wasn't talking, if the Lord didn't give us direction, I'll be a little bit more concerned. After like 3 years, I'll be like, what's going on? God, how come you haven't spoke? What's going on? Where are we going? Where am I at? Are we in the desert? Are we making it, what is the next move? So I'm happy. You know what I mean? So we got to get prepared for the people to come. The Son, okay, let's go to verse 4. Go up to, let me see, gather from the people, let them deliver the hand of those of the house of the Lord, give them to those who are in the house. Okay, cool. To the carpenters and to the builders, verse 6. To the carpenters and to the builders and the masons, and to buy timber and hewn stones to repair the house. However, there need to be no accounting made with them of the money delivered into their hands, because they deal faithfully. So basically, pardon me?
Mine says honestly.
Honestly, faithfully. So we need what? People that we can what? Count on. Can you really say, I can count on this person? How many people, you don't have to raise your hands, but how many fingers you can hold up and say, hey, I can count on this person? Maybe one.
How many fingers?
All you need is one, right? You need somebody to count on.
Spiritual fingers around. 3 of them.
There's no one you can count on? Then you can't count on me. Dang.
So yeah, I probably got 2. Probably 2.
Dang.
Probably
Now you can't even count on me?
I got
Man.
2. I got 2.
Bob, can you count on me?
Sometimes.
We're being honest here.
Right.
It's a recording.
Right. Hey, David, can you count on me?
Yeah, I call you every now and then, man.
Yeah. So you know what, when I say sometimes,
Yeah.
you understand.
Well, that's concerning for me, that you can't count on me. That's concerning for you that no one can count on you. Shouldn't that be concerning? There could be concern that no one can count on you. No one can count on you. It should be a little concerning, right?
If you ask David, what's the answer you think he would give you?
David? What's the answer, David?
I said, yes, I call you every now and then.
I'm just joking. I know you're David from the Bible.
Right. He said
He
something.
can count on Jonathan.
He said something about that.
Yeah, but he can count on Jonathan though.
But you know what he said, right?
Curses the man that trusts in the man. Nah.
When the prophet asked him, there is Jews.
Oh yeah, when he did the census, and he said, God is gonna punish you, and you choose 3 punishments, either or, which one you're gonna do. And he said, put a plague in.
And then he said that you cannot trust people, you cannot trust men.
No, you can't.
I'd rather trust God.
You trust God,
He said.
but God puts people in leadership, right?
But
I understand.
People change.
People do
You
change.
can trust in this guy or this person, and then suddenly, for any reason,
They go sideways.
they change.
Yeah.
Because we pastors, we are not perfect, right?
Mhm.
And then when we messed up, let's put it
Right.
that way, people change.
Yeah, people change on you. They switch up.
They're not loyal no more. They go
I know.
against you. They talk
That's
about
true.
you.
They switch up on you.
You see?
I know that.
You see? That's why I say sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah, I wasn't offended. But I was just making a point. Right. Me as a leader, right? I have to be accountable and make sure that I dot my I's and cross my T's. I gotta make sure in anything that I do, I think before I speak. I have to make sure that if I make a promise, don't make promises that you can't keep. You know, your word is your bond, you know.
Let your yes be yes and your no be no.
Pardon me? Yes, so yes be yes and your no's be no's. Simple as that. But this King Josiah, what he had people that he can trust. Can you believe that? With money. With money. It's something that's huge, that's pretty big. Can you trust people with money? Is there certain people that you can trust with money?
Like 2.
2 people, really? Wow. But can you know somebody that you can trust with money?
No.
Don't you find that a little concerning, a little alarming? That there's no one you can trust? That's crazy. Right? Is there no honorable person here on earth? Is there no...
We have to remember what we're dealing with people. It doesn't matter if they're Christian or not. People are people.
You know, there's one people that there's... I trust you.
Yeah, but I'm people.
I know, but I trust you.
Well,
I trust Misael.
I for you on that.
Right.
People,
We're gonna put some type. We're gonna have to put some type of trust. We're gonna have to put some type of trust in man. I trust Gina. You know, I trust DP. You have to put some type of trust
You trust me on what? Yeah, of course.
in certain things. Pardon me?
I trust you to do what they normally do.
You trust them by their actions, right? You be like, look, this person I'm not gonna give money because they spend a lot. You know, certain things.
That's a good deal. What he just
Yeah. Gina.
Kind of like what Chico said. I know there's some people I can trust with some things, but I can't trust them with another thing.
There you
So
go.
you know the group of people that you have around you, who you can trust with what. I can probably trust somebody with a certain, say, financial thing, but I can't trust them on being on time.
Right.
But I can trust this person to be on time. But I can't trust them
Right.
with money.
That's
So you
one thing.
have to have discernment and understanding. And yes, they're just men, but some people have some things they're good at, their weaknesses and their strengths. And you need to have discernment to see where their weakness and the strength are in the person, because then it's like you need to examine yourself. Do I have discernment and who I can trust in?
Right. So I'm gonna give you an example. I'm not saying this to talk about myself all the time, but I'm gonna say this to Moses. Moses, he had people that he could trust to oversee thousands, hundreds, and fifties, right? Go ahead, Gina.
but he trusted them because the Lord guided him to which.
No, it was his father-in-law told him to do it.
Right, but when they picked them, I don't believe they were just random.
He gave him the advice. He trusted his advice. It was. I mean, okay. Let's just say it was God, right? But the man is the one that gave him the advice. What is his name?
He was a priest.
Yeah, he was his
Father-in-law.
father-in-law. I forgot his name.
I remember this name of
Jethro.
Jethro. Yeah.
And he was
He
a
gave
priest.
him advice, and he trusted his advice, and he did it. So there's gonna have to be somebody in the ministry when you're building that you're gonna have to trust. You know, the Lord is gonna have to bring that person that you can trust, because I personally can't be there all the time. I know that you want me to be there, especially when you go evangelizing, when you go places and you're doing things like we're doing videos now. People are seeing the videos, Bob. People are coming up to me and they say, "Oh, I like the videos you're doing. Keep up the good work." They're watching, they're listening, they're looking, right? And I tell many people, the reason why you see my face all the time, because basically it's just me and Misal that are really doing the video. No one really stepped up and say, "Hey, I want to do a video." And I don't want to force people, right? He said he want to do a video now, and so he's gonna make the videos for himself and post it because it's for the church, right? But we have to I guess you could say build on each other to make each other accountable for the ministry so it can grow. So it can grow. You know what I mean? So it can grow. You know, there's, like I said before, there's people that are going to insult you. There's people that's not going to look at you some type of way. You make a mistake, you know, and they're going to crucify you. They're like, "Oh, you made a mistake. I can't trust you no more." But when you're building on a solid foundation, right? When you're building on a solid foundation, and what is the solid foundation? Christ. So what did Christ show us? This is simple. Love. What does love do? It covers a multitude of sins. You know, when you're building on a solid foundation, and it's Jesus, He said, love is the general commandment, covers all commandments, and He said that love covers what? Also a multitude of sins. So when you're training the people, when you're training, or when you're helping or show the church growing, those are the foundations that you have to lay upon, right? So they can trust you some way, somehow, to build the ministry. So Moses had people that he had to trust, right? In order for the judgment of Israel, for judgments. And now the harder of judgments, the harder, I guess you could say, situations were brought to him, the hardest one. So it was, you know, I guess it's district court, judiciary court, and then the Supreme Court. So he was like the Supreme. He was like, if the ones can't, you know, figure out what judgment they're going to judge the case on, then it will go up to him. Right? It was the harder cases that he oversaw, and then he had overseers for other things. So that's a little bit about building a solid foundation. Another thing about this. Let's just read. So verse 8. Then Hilkiah the high priest said to Shaphan the scribe, "I have found the book of the law in the house of the Lord." And Hilkiah gave the book to Shaphan, and he read it. So Shaphan the scribe went to the king, bringing the king word, saying, "Your servants have gathered the money that was found in the house, and have delivered it into the hands of those who do the work, who oversee the house of the Lord." Then Shaphan the scribe showed the king, saying, "Hilkiah the priest has given me a book." And Shaphan read it before the king. Now it happened when the king heard the words of the book of the law that he tore his clothes. Then the king commanded Hilkiah the priest, Ahikam the son of Shaphan, Akbor the son of Micaiah, Shaphan the scribe, and Asaiah, a servant of the king, saying, Go inquire of the Lord for me, for the people and for all Judah, concerning the words of this book that has been found. For great is the wrath of the Lord that is aroused against us. Okay. So, I know I don't want to bore y'all, right? But the reason why I'm reading this one, because it has a lot of stuff in there. So when he read about the book, or when he read about the stuff that happened, what concerned him? I feel like walking. I don't even feel like standing still. What concerned him? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
When he read the book, what concerned him?
The wrath of the Lord.
Why the wrath of God? Why did that concern him? Because he read on what happened before. He read on what happened before. So we read the same Bible, right? We read the same Bible. You read what happens before, or the people of old, especially when they're what? Disobedient. We read on what they're doing, on what they've done, and what they said. So what? So we don't do the same thing. So if we read, we all on the same page. We all read. We all know. We read the Bible, and we see that God doesn't like strife. Right? We read that. God doesn't like lazy. We were reading the other day, Misal and I, because Misal reads the dictionary every day, where the word procrastination came from. It's a Greek word. I don't know how to say that.
Oh, it's a Greek word. Comes from prokrastinos.
Which means putting off
Until tomorrow.
putting it off until tomorrow. That's where procrastinating comes from. You're putting this off that you have to do today for tomorrow. Right? So we all procrastinate. So that means we all procrastinate. Because there are certain things. Huh?
How she said tomorrow's not promised.
Tomorrow's not promised.
Right. Tomorrow's not promised. So we all procrastinate. There's some things like, I gotta buy groceries, but I'm gonna do it tomorrow. Right? I'm gonna wash laundry. I'm gonna do it tomorrow. Right? What else?
Read the Bible.
Oh. Well, no, we don't do that. We read the Bible every day. We don't do that.
But that's a whole.
So far, so this year. We don't do that.
That's a whole. I'm talking about individually.
I'm gonna pay that bill tomorrow.
Right.
And then you get that late fee.
Right. And then you're paying more. It costs you more. So the procrastination, Gina said it right there. Procrastination costs you more.
Right.
Right. Why? Because you just spent that time that you could have spent, and you wasted that time that you could have done that today for tomorrow. Now you're taking that time for tomorrow, which you could be doing something else. You know what I mean? That's a lot of money, or a lot of time, or that you have spent out of your life by procrastinating. You know what I mean? So procrastination is not a good thing. So we read in the Bible, Josiah read in the books of the laws, and what did he find? Something that was the wrath of the Lord. Why does God get mad? Because we sin. You know, I'm not even going to go into details on what he found, because we sin. How do we sin? You got to think about it in different forms, different ways. You know, in one example, how we sin is by disobedience. When God told you to do something, you don't do it, you disobey. You know, Gina always has a saying. Her saying is, delayed obedience is still disobedience. She She always says that delayed obedience is still disobedience. Because you're still not doing it. You're procrastinating. You're leaving it on to tomorrow. You keep leaving it on tomorrow, and tomorrow. And what happens? That motivation or that key moment just starts to die. Because the enemy is going to start bringing into your mind, like, you forgot about the word. And that's what happened. They forgot the word. They forgot. And when he saw it, he's like, what in the world? We need to fix this. We need to get this right. Right? Like I was saying this earlier, I was talking to somebody and I asked them a question. What have we been talking about this past couple months? And they couldn't answer correctly. They couldn't say, we're building, we're doing it. They said something else. And that concerned me. I was like, we hear, and I'm talking every Sunday, Thursdays, and we're speaking the same subject, but they just not here. Or the enemy's robbing the seed, or what is happening? That concerns me. So I've been just doing a lot of recaps. Like I said before, we examining ourselves. That's how we started. After we examine ourselves, then, your position. What is your position? I don't know if you were here. We were talking about the Ark of David. The Levites are supposed to be taking the Ark, and it was an animal, and the Ark almost fell, and then the guy, I forgot, tried to hold the Ark, and he died. It was not for them to take the Ark. It was for the Levites to take the Ark on a pole. They're not doing it right. David got afraid, and he said, let me take this Ark somewhere else instead of having it in your home. You know what I mean? Because they're not doing it right. They're not doing it the way God instructed Moses how to do it. You know what I mean? That is how you're supposed to move the Ark of God, with the poles and the Levites, not on the animal. So that is concerning, right? Joash, I'm going to read. Then the commanders of Micaiah and Kay, they say, go inquire of the Lord that they found this grave. Okay. So verse 14. So Hilkiah the priest, Ahikam, Akbor, Shaphan, and Asaiah went to Huldah the priestess. The prophetess. It's a woman. Her name is Huldah. A prophetess is a woman. The wife of Shulam, the son of Tikvah, the son of Harhas, keeper of the wardrobe. She dwelt in Jerusalem in the second quarter. And they spoke with her. Then she said to them, thus says the Lord, of God of Israel, tell the men who sent you to me, thus says the Lord, behold, I will bring calamity on this place and on its inhabitants. All the words of the book which is the king Judah was reading, because they have forsaken me and burned incense to other gods, and they might provoke me to anger with all the works of their hands. So, if God is telling you to work, right? If he's telling you to work in the ministry of a building, he's working with your hands. Are you supposed to be working on other things for yourself? Yeah, your business. God gave you a business, Yeah, I work for myself, I work for my business. But let's just say, there's some people, they got hobbies. And they tinker on cars. And they, work on, crochet. I mean, it's nice. Right? Little things here and there are nice. But if we're supposed to be expanding the kingdom, then you can be using your time doing other things. So guess what? So I do videos. I don't like doing videos every day. I'm not a person on the camera. I'm not an actor. But I said to myself, God told me to build. So what I do when I got home, I said, myself, can you hold me this video for me? I'm going to make a